Hi, hello friends, welcome back to Night Court Narrative. I am Elvish. Hi, hello. Today I have a little bit of a weirder video. I do have the Housemaid series by Frida McFadden. I usually only do one book per video, but I really do feel like it's a little bit harder in this series to do one book at a time, so I'm gonna just go ahead, bunch them all together, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Housemaid series. This was a rough series. If you guys have not seen my previous videos, or you have not seen anything about me talking about Frida McFadden, I am currently in the process of reading every single one of her books. I am currently on 19. I finished 19, so I'm about to start reading 20, so that is definitely interesting, but these kind of were not it. The Housemaid is probably my highest rated. The Housemaid is basically about this maid. She starts cleaning for the Winchesters. They actually just made this into a movie. I have not seen the movie yet though. I'm working on it, but damn, it is so expensive. Everything is, I think it's like $20 to buy on or like to rent on Amazon right now. It's so expensive. But basically we have our female main character. She has started working for the Winchesters. You know, obviously the wife, I think her name is Amy Winchester, I think. The wife is kind of weird. She's kind of cunty. She kind of has like memory loss from what it seems. The daughter is also very fucking bratty. The husband kind of seems a little bit too good to be true. The Housemaid kind of, you know, tries to help as much as she can, but she does find that the wife starts lying and starts making her job a little bit more difficult, and eventually that does make the husband start being like, okay, well, you know what, this is something that we can work with. I'm gonna be here personally for you, which obviously makes the housewife a little bit jealous, saying that she is trying to take her man. Obviously, spoiler, but we do find out that this was all a part of the plan. The Housemaid was hired because she is an ex-convict that did end up killing someone back in high school to save her friend from SA. So she was hired to possibly off her husband, and we do get a little bit of tension in that area. Obviously, husband no longer, yeah. But yeah, that was basically the Housemaid. That's all it literally was. I did give this book a 4-star rating. I will talk more about it in a moment. Next is the Housemaid's Secret. This does follow the exact same character. However, now she does end up going to a new household. She is kind of in between jobs at the moment. Obviously, this is a few years after. I think this is like 4 years after the fact. She ends up getting a job with the Garricks. She has no idea how she even got this job with them, but you know what? Whatever. But Mrs. Garrick is kind of unusual. She's kind of held up, locked away in this room. Mr. Garrick says that, you know, she's very ill and she doesn't like to be bothered, I guess. And obviously Millie, I believe her name is Millie, she starts going out of her way to talk to Mrs. Garrick, and every time she does end up talking to her, she starts noticing more and more bruises and black eyes and blood and all that. And she falls under the conclusion that, okay, of course, Mr. Garrick is a little bit abusive and he keeps putting his hands on her. I need to save her. So we do have this massive plot point where she helps Mrs. Garrick get away. Ends up driving about 8 hours to take her to her friend's house. Obviously, her husband was already waiting for her, and that obviously caused problems. So we find out that obviously Mr. Garrick was not actually Mr. Garrick. It was a decoy, if you will. Mrs. Garrick, of course, hired her to off her husband as well to give her an outing, and unfortunately ends up killing the wrong person, I guess. Well, to what she thinks, because she thinks that Mr. Garrick is... Millie thinks Mr. Garrick is a completely different person than what he is, or like she sees him as Mr. Garrick, but in actuality he's a completely different man. So that was a little bit weird, but yeah, in actuality she ends up getting off, and yeah. Next is the house. Oh, that one I did give a 3.5-star rating. Next is The Housemaid's Wedding. This is a short little novella. If we go all the way back to book 1, we have a little what is he? He is a lawn guy. He is a lawn service man. His name is Enzo. He kind of helps her through the whole Winchester thing. Well, this is the book of them getting married. It is just a very quick 70-page novella, nothing too special about it. Of course, she is a little bit psychotic, I guess. I'm gonna start calling her psychotic because I mean she's loony. She deserves a second in the loony bin, but she does kind of think that someone is following her, and she keeps getting these like weird phone calls of people threatening her when I don't know. This one wasn't the worst. I did give this one a 3-star rating. It wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best. And lastly, I have The Housemaid is Watching. This is, I believe, between 13 and 16 years after the fact. So we are now 2 decades in. They are fully married. They have children. And she now owns her own house. They are doing everything they can to be of the riches, and she ends up getting her housemaid, and of course she starts thinking that the housemaid is a little bit weird. She does think that the housemaid is stealing and is being a little bit unusual. She also does think that the hot rich neighbor is trying to steal her husband, which of course is definitely not the case. And yeah, I mean, to be so for real with you, I wasn't really fucking with this book. I did give this book a 2-star rating. I was very, very bored with it. To be completely honest, I was actually really bored with this series. I do think that Frida McFadden does a very, very good job at writing books and writing thriller and suspense, and I really look forward to her books, but I can honestly say that I don't feel like Frida has the capability of writing an entire series following the same person. It did become so incredibly repetitive. I found by the 4th book, well, technically it's 3rd, but if we're counting novella as 4th, I did find that the 4th book had the same thing written in it over and over and over and over again. If I have to read about her being an ex-con killing some random dude in high school one more time, I might literally rip out every single hair on my head. I'm so fed up with that, and it is in every single book. And she keeps saying, well, he's gonna know my past. If I do this, he's gonna learn my past, and oh my god, he's gonna learn my past and learn that I'm an ex-con. And of course I was an ex-con, and I'm just like, Frida, hang it up, babe, hang it up, because it's not working anymore. And I do find that The Housemaid is Watching was so anticlimactic. It didn't give the thrill aspect or the suspense aspect as the other books did give. This one actually really gave zero closure. she basically turned into the person that instead of doing all of the work, she just ended up watching everyone, and turns out that she was literally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Nothing happened. No one was against her. No one was trying to steal anything, take anyone's man. No one was getting murdered. Nothing was happening. So quite literally, we have this book that's full of all the buildup, but no conclusion whatsoever. And at that point, I was just like, bro, I'm so done. Overall, I do think that this book technically should have ended with book 1. I know. Book 2, The Housemaid's Secret, was not bad. It is to the point where I don't think that she'll ever come out with another Housemaid book, but if she does, I might not read it, to be completely honest with you. I really do think that this series is over and should have been over with the second book at maximum. But overall, it was okay. I think if I had to rate this series as a whole, I would probably give it a 3-star rating. And I know, the massive Frida fans are gonna come at me, but you have to realize I too am a massive Frida fan. I love all of Frida's work. I very, very, very rarely give a Frida book under a 4.5, maybe 4-star minimum. Like, I give her a 4.5 to a 5-star almost every single time I read one of her books. I absolutely love her writing, but I do feel like there is a time and a place, and I feel like this book was not in its prime whatsoever. So that's just me. I do feel like the writing became a little bit too and I also feel like if you look at The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret, and if you read it in tandem with one another, obviously this is just a hypothetical, don't read them in tandem because they are years apart from one another, but I do feel like if you took The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret and read them in tandem, I feel like you would find it the exact same book. The only difference is one wife is a little bit cuckoo, and then the other wife is, you know, getting wrecked every 2 seconds, even though it was planned. So I just think that they are practically the exact same book. I did find that the outcome of the book was almost the exact same. I didn't really find the second book a little bit twistier or even on the same level of twist, because even like I said in my review on Goodreads, I do feel like book 2 was almost a complete copy and paste of The Housemaid, and it kind of ruined it a little bit. It kind of ruined it going forward, especially with The Housemaid's Wedding. I do feel like nothing happened. It raised the whole question of who is this, and then absolutely nothing. And I just, you know, I'm so glad this series is over, because I've had these books, I had the highest expectation for these books, because everyone and their mothers was like, man, The Housemaid is the best book on this planet. You will give it nothing but a 5-star. And no, I'm sorry. It's okay. I think the overall, let me see, the overall rating for The Housemaid is a 4.27. So it's not even a 5-star across the board. So if we're looking at the averages, a 4.27, 4.16, 3.3, and a 3.8. So you can definitely see that I am at least validated through the average rating, because the longer the series goes on, the worse the books get. So I definitely do feel a little bit validated in that case, but I don't know. Do I recommend this series? If I had to do a yes, no, maybe. Housemaid, yes. Housemaid's Secret, yeah. Housemaid's Wedding, maybe. And The Housemaid is Watching, absolutely not. Don't waste your time. Just don't even read it. Like, literally, just don't even read it. Nothing happens. But yeah, I just wanted to make a very quick video about that. I don't think, and I know this is very hard, like most of my videos are way longer than this, but I truly don't feel like anything happened in this book to, or I guess this series, I should say, to make me talk longer. That was dramatic. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, I just died. I literally just choked on air. If anyone is at all curious what happened, I literally just choked on my own air. I can't even breathe correctly. This is so frustrating. I just personally don't think that enough happened in the series to be able to talk out a whole 20-30 minute video. once you read one of them, you read them all. So it was okay. It was a very subpar Frida book. I don't know. But yeah, if you read this book or read the series and you want to talk about it, definitely leave some comments down below. I would love to discuss it. If you loved it, hated it, definitely let me know. And as always, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.